Today we will discuss the first week of development, cleavage of the zygote to form the blastocyst. Fertilization of an ovum by sperm marks the beginning of development of a new individual. The developmental period is divided into two periods. The prenatal development, that is development before birth, and postnatal development, that is development after birth. The prenatal development occurs in the uterus and its average duration in human is 38 weeks. The duration of prenatal development, also called intrauterine life, is generally divided into two periods, embryonic period and fetal period. The first 8 weeks of intrauterine life are called embryonic period, and during this period, the developing individual is referred to as the embryo. Now, first 8 weeks, the developing individual is known as embryo. From the beginning of the ninth week till the birth, the developing individual is called the fetus, and this part of intrauterine life is called fetal period. As the embryonic period begins, three major developmental events occur during the first week of development. That is the cleavage, cleavage and formation of morula. Formation of morula. Cleavage, the process of cleavage and formation of morula. Formation of blastocyst and then beginning of implantation. Beginning of implantation. So this is the first week of development. Cleavage. Cleavage is it has been described that fertilization takes place in ampulla of the uterine tube. As soon as the process of fertilization is completed, the zygote undergoes a series of rapid mitotic divisions called the cleavage. And this begins about 30 hours after fertilization. As soon as the process of fertilization is completed, the zygote undergoes a series of rapid mitotic divisions called the cleavage. The cleavage divisions increase the number of cells of the zygote, which is now referred to as embryo. The cells constituting the embryo are called blastomeres. So here you can see the zygote and the blastomeres. These cells are called the blastomeres. Blastomeres. So blastomeres are the cells which is present in the dividing zygote, and they become smaller with each division. As the cleavage division are not accompanied by cytoplasmic growth of the dividing cells, the blastomeres they become smaller with each division. Therefore, the size of embryo does not increase and it remains confined within the zona pellucida. So, this dividing zygote is present in between inside the zona pellucida. So the cell size remain the same, but the size of the cell size it becomes smaller. Size of the zygote remains embryo. Size of the embryo remains the same, but the cells, the blastomeres, they become smaller and smaller. And they remain confined to the zona pellucida. Up to the 8th cell stage, here you can see the cleavage, the dividing zygote. You can see here the process of cleavage is occurring in the dividing zygote. 8th stage cell. This is the 8th stage cell. You can see up to the 8th cell stage, the blastomeres form a cluster of loosely sticking totipotent cells. That is each of them can give rise. Totipotents mean that each of them can give rise to a complete embryo by itself. Now, as the cleavage division continues, here the cleavage division continues, a stage is reached when the morula consists of approximately 16 cells. And this embryo consists of 16 cells. At this stage, the embryo resembles a mulberry, and therefore it is known as morula. So this is the morula. 16 cell stage is known as morula. The morula stage is reached approximately 3 days after fertilization when the embryo is about to enter the uterine cavity. You can see here 3 days after the fertilization, and it is about to enter the uterine cavity. By this time, the corona radiata cells have disappeared, but the zona pellucida still surrounds the morula. So this is the zona pellucida layer shown in light blue. Zona pellucida. Morula is suspended in fluid present in the lumen of uterine tube and receives oxygen and nutrients from this fluid by diffusion. Blastomeres of the morula, they soon undergo a process of compaction. This is the morula, and they start the process of compaction. During this process, the outer cells of the morula become tightly adherent to each other by desmosomes and occluding junctions and gap junctions. At the same time, the inner cells of the morula become segregated from the outer cells and become connected to each other by numerous gap junctions. The peripheral cells of the morula are collectively called the outer cell mass. So this is the outer cell mass, while this one is the inner cell mass. So this is the compacted state, that is morula. In morula, the process of compaction occurs, and this is the non-compacted 4-cell stage. You can see here the outlines of the cells are visible and cells are larger, whereas here in the morula stage, the outlines of the cells are not visible and the cell to cell contact is more, and it is divisible into outer and inner mass. Now the central blastomeres are titled as inner cell mass or embryoblast. They are also known as embryoblast. Now the cells of the embryoblast are pluripotent. The cells of the cells of the blastomeres were the cells of the blastomeres were totipotent. That is, each one of them can give rise to a complete embryo. And cells of the embryoblast or inner cell mass is pluripotent, that they have the capability to differentiate into ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, which are the 3 germ layers that give rise to all cells and tissues of the body. The cells of the trophoblast form only extra embryonic structures, especially the fetal part of placenta. What is cleavage? Again, cleavage is a rapid series of mitotic divisions that occur just after fertilization. And there are two critical reasons why cleavage is so important. That is, first of all, generation of large number of cells that can undergo differentiation and gastrulation to form organs. Number two is increase in the nucleus cytoplasmic ratio. That is, egg needs a lot of cytoplasm to support embryogenesis. It is difficult or impossible for one nucleus to support a huge cytoplasm, and oocytes are one of the largest cells that exist. One small nucleus just cannot transcribe enough RNA to meet the needs of huge cytoplasm. A larger nucleus to cytoplasmic ratio is optimal for cell function. Cell division occurs rapidly after fertilization to correct this problem. Now, due to rhythmic peristaltic movements of the smooth muscle in the wall of the uterus and the beating movements of cilia present on the epithelial cells lining the mucosa of the uterine tube here, the marula is gradually pushed towards the uterus. So marula is pushed towards the uterus, and thus the marula enters the cavity of uterus approximately 4 days after fertilization. So 4 days after fertilization or 72 hours after fertilization, the marula enters the uterus. By this time, the uterine endometrium is in secretory phase of the uterine cycle, and the lumen of the uterus is full of secretions produced by the secretory mucosal cells and mucosal glands. Shortly after its entry into the uterine cavity, fluid begins to penetrate into the marula. This is the marula. Shortly after its entry into the uterine cavity, the fluid it oozes inside the marula, penetrates inside the marula. The fluid passes across the zona pellucida and the flattened blastomeres of the outer cell mass and accumulates in the intercellular spaces of the inner cell mass. Now soon these spaces merge with each other and they give rise to a single fluid filled cavity known as, you see in this picture, this is the outer cell mass and this is the inner cell mass, and space appears here between the inner cell mass and this this space is known as blastocele. This fluid filled cavity is known as blastocele. Now after the formation of blastocele, the embryo is known as blastocyst. So this is the blastocyst. Now embryo is previously it was known as morula, now it is known as blastocyst. Due to appearance of the blastocele, the embryoblast it becomes pushed towards one side of the blastocyst. You can see the embryoblast, they are pushed towards the one side of the blastocyst. The trophoblast maintains its peripheral position under the zona pellucida. So this is the trophoblast and this one is represented in pink is the zona pellucida. And it forms trophoblast, it forms the wall of the blastocele. Eccentric position of the embryoblast makes it possible to identify two poles of the blastocyst. The pole which bears the embryoblast is known as embryonic pole, and whereas the pole opposite is referred to as abembryonic. So this is the abembryonic pole of the blastocyst. This is the embryonic pole, embryonic pole, and this is the abembryonic pole. Abembryonic pole, sorry, it's with A. Abembryonic pole. The blastocyst lies free in the uterine fluid for about 2 days. During this period, it receives nutrition from this fluid by diffusion through the zona pellucida. As the embryo is growing rapidly, simple diffusion is not sufficient to meet its nutritional requirements. Therefore, the embryo implants itself into the wall of the uterus to receive nutrition and oxygen from the maternal blood. The process of implantation begins as soon as the blastocyst loses the covering of the zona pellucida. So, in order to Im get implanted, the this blastocyst has to lose the covering of the zona pellucida. On the sixth day of development, the embryo emerges from the zona pellucida, which is called blastocyst hatching. By the action of the proteolytic enzymes produced by the trophoblast, this is the trophoblast, and they produce hydrolytic enzymes, proteolytic enzymes, A small portion of zona pellucida, usually over the embryonic pole of the blastocyst, dissolves and a hole is produced. The blastocyst comes out of the zona pellucida through this hole and immediately attaches itself to the endometrial epithelium to begin the process of implantation. Of the first week of development, the egg is fertilized high up in the fallopian tubes. The day at day 0. Day 1 to 3, the egg undergoes division in the solid marula stage. Day 1 to 4, the egg continues to move down the fallopian tube and into the uterus. Now, day 5, the egg has begun to transform into hollow blastocyst and has traveled and implanted itself into the uterine wall near a source of blood. Day 5 to 9, the blastocyst continues to divide and still has the outer trophoblast layer, the fluid cavity, and the inner cell mass that are the stem cells that will form the future fetal tissue.